You paid for fiber internet, the fastest, most reliable connection money can buy. So, if you're on fiber, you shouldn't buffer. The spinning wheel of doom should be a distant memory, a relic of a bygone dial-up era. But here we are. That movie night you planned is stuttering, your video call is frozen on an unflattering expression, and your online game is lagging so bad you're an easy target. It's infuriating. You have a superhighway of data coming into your home, but somewhere between the wall and your device, it slows to a crawl. The truth is, fiber is fast, but your Wi-Fi isn't fiber. They are two completely different things, and blaming your fiber connection for bad Wi-Fi is like blaming the power station for a burnt-out light bulb. In this guide, we're going to skip the jargon and get straight to the real reasons your Wi-Fi is letting you down, and more importantly, show you exactly how to fix it. First things first, we need to play detective. Is the problem your internet service, or is it your Wi-Fi? This is the most critical question, and thankfully, it's easy to answer. You'll need a computer with an Ethernet port and an Ethernet cable. Unplug the cable from your TV or game console if you have to. Plug one end directly into your router and the other into your computer. Now, open a web browser and run a speed test. If the results from this wired connection are close to the speeds you're paying for, congratulations, your fiber internet is working perfectly. The problem is definitely inside your house, in your Wi-Fi network. However, if this direct wired speed test is also slow, then it's time to call your internet service provider. The issue could be with their network, the line to your home, or the equipment they provided. Knowing this before you call them will save you a ton of time and make you sound like you know what you're talking about. Now that we've confirmed it's a Wi-Fi problem, let's look at the most common culprit, your router. Think of your router as the traffic cop for your home network. An old, underpowered router trying to manage a gigabit fiber connection is like one traffic cop trying to direct rush hour in a major city. It's going to get overwhelmed. Wi-Fi technology has evolved rapidly. You might see standards like 802.1n, also known as Wi-Fi 4, or 802.11ac, which is Wi-Fi 5. The current standard is 802.111ax, or Wi-Fi 6. Each new generation is better at handling more devices and higher speeds. An old Wi-Fi 4 router simply can't keep up with modern demands. A dead giveaway of an outdated router is if its ports are limited to 100 megabits per second. You can check the specs online. If you have a gigabit fiber plan, a 100 megabit port creates an instant bottleneck, capping your speed at a tenth of what you pay for. The first fix: check for a firmware update. Go into your router's settings and see if there's new software to install. This can patch security holes and sometimes improve performance. If your router is more than 5 years old and no longer receives updates, it's time for an upgrade. You don't need the most expensive model, but a modern Wi-Fi 6 router will make a world of difference. Where you put your router is just as important as which one you have. Wi-Fi signals are radio waves, and they hate obstacles. You wouldn't put your stereo speakers in a closet and expect to hear clear music in the living room, right? The same logic applies to your router. The ideal spot is central, elevated, and out in the open. Hiding it in a cabinet, behind the TV, or in a basement corner is a recipe for a weak, unreliable signal. Walls, especially those with brick, concrete, or metal studs, will degrade the signal significantly. Floors are also major barriers. And, please, keep it away from large metal objects and, believe it or not, aquariums. Water is excellent at absorbing Wi-Fi signals. Take a moment to look at where your router is right now. If it's tucked away, your single most effective 5-minute fix might be to simply move it to a better location, like on top of a bookshelf in your main living area. Your Wi-Fi network isn't operating in a vacuum. It's competing for airtime with countless other signals. This is called interference. The 2.4 GHz band, which is one of the two main frequencies your router uses, is incredibly crowded. It's a shared public space used by your microwave oven, some cordless phones, baby monitors, and even your Bluetooth devices. Most importantly, it's also used by all of your neighbors' Wi-Fi networks. If you live in an apartment building, this band is likely a chaotic mess of overlapping signals, causing slowdowns for everyone. The solution is to use the 5 GHz band whenever possible. It's a much wider, less congested highway with more lanes. The trade-off is that 5 GHz signals don't travel as far and aren't as good at penetrating walls. So, the rule of thumb is simple. For devices that are relatively close to the router and need high speed, like your streaming box, computer, or game console, always connect to the 5 GHz network. Use the 2.4 GHz band. For devices that are farther away, or don't need much speed, like smart thermostats or speakers. Some routers try to combine these into a single network name, but for best results, go into your settings and give them separate names, like My Wi-Fi 2, 4 and My Wi-Fi 5, so you can choose manually. Let's dive a little deeper. Within those 2.4 and 5 GHz bands are smaller lanes called channels. Most routers are set to auto, where they try to pick the best channel for you, but they don't always get it right. On the crowded 2.4 GHz band, the only channels that don't overlap are 1, 6, and 11. If your router is sitting on channel 3, it's interfering with and receiving interference from everyone on channels 1 through 5. Using a Wi-Fi analyzer app on your phone, you can scan the area and see which channels are least used by your neighbors. Then, you can log into your router and manually set it to one of those cleaner channels, 1, 6 or 11. For the 5 GHz band, there are many more channels, and overlap is less of an issue, so leaving it on auto is often fine. But if you're experiencing issues, a manual selection can still help. This small tweak can sometimes be the difference between a choppy connection and a smooth one. Even with a fast connection and a perfect setup, your bandwidth is a finite resource. Every single device connected to your Wi-Fi is taking a slice of the pie. It's not just the device you're actively using. Your phone is backing up photos to the cloud, your game console is downloading a massive 100 GB update in the background, your smart TV is pulling data, and dozens of smart home devices are constantly checking in. Each one of these adds to the congestion. A great feature on modern routers is quality of service, or QoS. This lets you tell your router which devices or applications are most important. You can prioritize your work laptop for video calls during the day, or your streaming device for movie night in the evening. This ensures that your most important traffic gets to jump to the front of the line, preventing background tasks from ruining your experience. Another pro tip is to put all your smart home gadgets, your light bulbs, plugs, and sensors, on a separate guest network. This isolates them and prevents them from cluttering up your main network. If you live in a large or multi-story home, a single router, no matter how powerful, might not be enough to cover every corner. You've probably seen Wi-Fi extenders or repeaters. While cheap, they often create more problems than they solve by cutting your speed in half and creating a separate, clunky network. The modern solution is a mesh Wi-Fi system. A mesh system uses multiple nodes placed around your home to create one large, seamless Wi-Fi network with a single name. As you move through the house, your device is intelligently handed off to the node with the strongest signal, just like your phone does with cell towers. This eliminates dead zones and ensures you have a strong, consistent connection everywhere, from the basement to the attic. For the absolute best performance, connect your mesh nodes to each other with an Ethernet cable if your home is wired for it. This is called an Ethernet backhaul, and it means the nodes don't have to use up valuable Wi-Fi airtime talking to each other, freeing it all up for your devices. One final, slightly more advanced area to check is the equipment your ISP gave you. Often, they provide an all-in-one box that acts as a modem and a router. If you've bought your own, better router, you might now have two devices both trying to manage your network. This can lead to a problem called double NAT, which can cause issues with online gaming, port forwarding, and overall stability. The solution is to put your ISP's device into bridge mode. This effectively turns off its routing functions and makes it act purely as a modem, passing the internet connection straight through to your personal router, letting it handle everything. You may need to call your ISP to have them do this, or you might be able to find the setting in its web interface. It's a crucial step to ensure your high-performance router can actually do its job without fighting with other equipment on the line. Okay, that was a lot of information, so let's boil it down to an actionable checklist you can run through. Så main finns i den crow. For so bafestens band. The classic fix for a reason: reboot your router, unplug it, wait 30 seconds and plug it back in. Second, check for a firmware update. Third, move your router to a central elevated location, out in the open. Fourth, connect your important devices to your 5 GHz network. Fifth, use a Wi-Fi analyzer app to find and set your 2.4 GHz network to the least crowded channel, 1, 6, or 11. Sixth, log into your router and enable QoS to prioritize your most important device. And finally, test your speed again, both wired and wireless, to see the improvement. Running through these steps will solve the vast majority of Wi-Fi problems caused by these silent killers of speed. We hope this guide has helped you finally get the speed you're paying for. The Gnosis Hub is dedicated to making technology simple and powerful for everyone. If you found this video useful, please consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell. We're creating more deep dive guides just like this one to help you master your digital world. Thanks for watching, and enjoy your buffer-free streaming.